Everyone left me when I had nothing. My family, my friends, even people I called brothers. But there was one person who stayed, and she wasn't even supposed to. I want to tell you her story today because I think we've forgotten what loyalty actually looks like. We use the word so easily now. We say it about people who stay when things are convenient. But real loyalty, the kind that costs something, is rare. And when I finally saw it with my own eyes, it changed how I understand love completely. Her name was Amara. We met during the worst year of my life, not the best one. I had just lost my job, my father was sick, and the business I had spent 6 years building was falling apart because of debts I didn't even fully understand yet. I was not, by any measure, a good option. I had nothing to offer anyone. And yet somehow, in the middle of all that wreckage, she chose to stay close to me. At first, I thought it was pity. I remember asking her once, half joking, half serious, "Why are you still here?" "I have nothing left to give you." She looked at me like the question itself confused her. She said, "I'm not here for what you can give me. I'm here because of who you are when you have nothing to give." I didn't understand that sentence then. I understand it now. Over the next year, I watched people disappear from my life one by one. Friends who used to call every week stopped calling. Family members who once praised my success started avoiding conversations about my failures, as if my bad luck was contagious. Even people I had helped financially in the past found reasons to distance themselves. It wasn't dramatic. Nobody announced they were leaving. They just quietly stopped showing up. But Amara showed up more. She didn't have money to give me, and she never offered advice like she had all the answers. What she gave me was steadier than that. She gave me her presence. She would sit with me in silence when I didn't want to talk. She would remind me to eat when I forgot. When my father was in the hospital and I couldn't afford to hire help, she took and paid leave from her own job for 11 days just to be there with me at the hospital, doing the small and glamorous work of caregiving, carrying files between departments, sitting through the long hours of waiting, translating medical terms I was too exhausted to process. I asked her once why she was doing all this for someone who couldn't promise her anything back. Not a future, not stability, not even a clear timeline of when things would get better. And she said something I will never forget. "I'm not loyal to your circumstances. I'm loyal to your character." Your circumstances can change every year. Who you are underneath them, that's what I'm choosing. That distinction broke something open in me. Because I had spent my whole life believing loyalty was about staying through hardship, enduring, tolerating, sacrificing. But she showed me it was something else entirely. It wasn't about enduring me. It was about seeing me clearly, even in the worst version of my life, and still recognizing something worth staying for. There's a specific moment I think about more than any other. It was almost midnight, maybe 8 months into that hard year. I had just found out that a business partner I trusted had taken money that wasn't his to take, money that would set my recovery back by almost a year. I was sitting on the floor of my apartment, not crying exactly, just completely hollowed out. Amara came over without me even asking her to. She didn't say anything comforting. She didn't try to fix it. She just sat down on the floor next to me and stayed there for almost 2 hours in silence. Before she left that night, she said one sentence, "I'm not going anywhere. Take your time." I think that's the moment I understood what real loyalty costs. It's not loud. It's not a grand gesture you can put in a highlight reel. It's choosing, again and again, in small unremarkable moments, to remain present for someone when there is absolutely nothing in it for you except the relationship itself. Looking back now, I can name exactly what made her different from everyone else who left. It wasn't that she loved me more. I think a lot of the people who left genuinely cared about me too, in their own way. The difference was what her loyalty was actually attached to. Most people, without realizing it, are loyal to a version of you. The successful version. The fun version. The version that makes their own life easier or more interesting. And the moment that version disappears, replaced by someone struggling, someone slower, someone less impressive, their loyalty quietly disappears with it. It's not always malicious. Sometimes people genuinely don't know how to be around someone who's suffering. But the result is the same. They leave, and they usually don't even notice they've left. Amara's loyalty was attached to something underneath the version of me. She had seen enough of my character in the good times, how I treated people with less power than me, how I kept promises even when they were inconvenient, how I handled failure without becoming cruel to the people around me, that she trusted what was still there. Even when everything visible had fallen apart, eventually, things did get better. My father recovered. I found new work, then eventually rebuilt something of my own again, slower and more carefully this time. And I want to be honest with you. The reason I'm telling you this story isn't really about romance. It's about recognizing loyalty when you see it. Because it is easy to miss. If someone in your life has stayed with you through a version of yourself you're not proud of, a slow season, a broke season, a season where you had nothing impressive to offer, that is not a small thing. That is one of the rarest things a person can give you. Don't take it for granted. Don't assume it will always be there just because it's been there so far. Loyalty like that deserves to be seen, named, and honored while the person is still standing in front of you. And if you're someone who has left people when their circumstances changed, I'm not here to shame you. Life is complicated, and staying close to someone's hardship is genuinely difficult. But maybe this story is a reminder to ask yourself, what exactly is my loyalty attached to? Is it the person, or is it the version of them that's easy to be around? Amara and I are still together today. Not because the hard year magically fixed everything between us, but because that year showed me something about her I could never have learned any other way. Real character doesn't show up in the good times. It shows up in the moments when staying costs something and leaving would be easier. That's her story. That's what made her different. And I think, deep down, all of us are hoping someone in our life would do the same for us. Stay. Not for what we can give, but for who we still are underneath everything we've lost. If this story meant something to you, I'd love to hear about someone in your own life who stayed when it would have been easier to leave. Tell me in the comments below.